One aspect of yoga is about going off on our own, getting lost in the forest, and going deeper and deeper and deeper, a very intimate aspect of our lives, trying to discover more about who we are. But actually, is it something that is going to really help us to go down a spiritual path that's going to lead us to this more purified state? You see, so often we get so focused on me, and me. And what happens is we focus on, I want to be peaceful, I want to be rooted, I want to spiritualize my life, I want to feel calm, I want to feel connected, I want to feel something, I want something, I need something. So some people go to some extreme ways of doing it, and that might mean going into the wilderness and going a little bit lost inside it, and hopefully going inwards as well. But the whole thing about that type of yoga is that it causes us to make us the main focus. And do you know what? I really feel like in life nowadays, I've had enough of looking after me, mine, I, my needs, my desires. Don't know about you, but do you know what? I've been serving myself and my family in the past. I'm now in the Vanapasta ashram, so I live a separate life from the family life now, and I feel like enough is enough. Because our ego, our pride, our needs always need to be met in a certain way, met in a certain way that satisfies us. But I'm beginning to understand that life is a little bit more different. I've been into Krishna consciousness now solidly as a celibate monk for 3 years. Living in Vrindavan, India, the Holy Dham. It's a very deep place to go to discover more of yourself. But what I felt was, I soon enough when I arrived here, it was not about discovering about myself. It was actually more about discovering where I came from. Why am I who I am? Why do I have what I have? Why do I have certain characteristics, personality, ego? Why do I behave in a certain way? And I started to realize that actually, by going inwards, not for me, but to go inwards to discover more about my origin, and that meant looking at my roots, I started to realize through Krishna consciousness, actually, there is a deeper aspect to our life. Because I can serve myself and satisfy my needs, but I think we just get greedy and wanting more and more and more. You see, we're never satisfied what we have. We hanker for more, or to hold on to what we have, and we lust. We're very good at lusting. We think love is love, but actually love is lusting. Why am I discussing this? Well, I'm reading the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 6, text 33 today. And Arjuna is talking to Lord Krishna, and he's identifying with those who go to the forest to go and do some extreme yogic practices. But what he's identifying is actually, because he's becoming such a pure devotee of the Lord, not only just a devotee, he's a very close friend of the Lord. He's developed his Bhakti Yoga, which is his devotional yoga, to the point where he has total faith and belief. Although he's challenged. In the Bhagavad Gita, he's challenged with these questions about what he should be doing. But that's neither here nor there at this moment in time with what we're talking about. But for me, I've begun to realise, actually, I don't need to go looking to satisfy my needs anymore. I feel that there is this urge inside me which keeps on pulling me closer and closer to discovering actually what my true nature is. Sorry, I just got tapped by a cat. I don't know what it was touching me. Sorry, distraction there. But I want to discover more really about who and why I connect with something more than just me. And what I've really discovered is the more faith and more the belief and the more I let go to the fact that the Lord is the creator, is the absolute truth, the more I realize I don't need to go to extreme practices to discover more about myself. Because what is happening is this whole process of Bhakti Yoga, which is devotional yoga, which means I am no longer the center of the focus. And it's beautiful. The Lord is the center of the focus. Other devotees are the center of the focus. Other visitors who come to our mandir are the center of the focus. Society is the focus, not me anymore. And do you know what? In one regard, it's the biggest relief in the world. It means I'm not carrying around all these needs, all these baggage, these bags of needs. I want this, I need to do this, I need to transform myself in a certain way. I don't. Because what I discover is actually the Lord is the one who's arranging everything. He's revealing different aspects to my characteristics. He's purifying certain aspects, because some of my characteristics from the past are not too hot at all. And what he's doing is actually, he's cleaning me. I'm sure I mentioned it before, we can have a bath and a shower and put some lovely clean clothes on, but actually we're so dirty inside. We're so murky. But the more I chant the Lord's name, the more I read about the Lord, the more I remember about the Lord, he takes us through this purification process, and then we start to realize life isn't all about me anymore. And I feel relieved. I feel like, I can let go. I've worked so hard for so many years, satisfying my needs and wanting more or something different than what's happening, and sometimes hitting these walls and going up and down these big hills and bumpy roads, and sometimes getting lost. I mean, I was building up this philosophy of life. I was building up. I didn't want to believe one religion, one God, one guru, one faith. So for many years I took a bit of Buddhism, I took this from Buddhism, this from Shivaism, this from general Hinduism, this from Krishna consciousness, this from the universe, this bit from human design, and I created my own little philosophy of life. But that still wasn't doing the job, because all I was doing was choosing all the good bits and not dealing with all the stuff that I really needed to deal with. So this process that the Lord is taking me through, like he would take you through, is very personal, it's very intimate. And the more I discover how much he is arranging in my life, what he's organising, what he's planned, then I start to appreciate everything is happening for the right reason. And not being the centre means I don't have this feeling of, okay, this is good or bad, this is positive or negative. I can actually sit down or stand up or go and do whatever I need to do and realise it's happening because the Lord's arranged it, and therefore everything is happening for the right reason. And that's beautiful. So we don't need to go into the mountains, into the forest. I've tried it a little bit of it, but it's not where we really need to go. We just need to keep our focus on one thing, not on trying to find the place that suits us and the environment that suits us, but the place and the how and the where of how I can serve the Lord. That is the only thing that's of interest now. And that's beautiful, because then we start to rewire what sometimes is called our selfish gene. It's well known that we have a selfish gene. I, me, mine, I need this, I need that. But the moment we start to become more selfless and realise actually everything is to serve the Lord, then we discover something very, 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 very beautiful. Because then we start to discover the origin of love. Because love is about serving. Love isn't about sharing your heart with someone else. It's not about the sexuality of love. It's not about doing things and wanting things, or doing things and wanting things. Love is about a selfless act of serving. And that's beautiful. To serve and to serve and to serve and to serve. And this is why the Bhagavad Gita, as it is, as translated by Srila Prabhupada, directs us in the right direction. It helps us to remind us that we're not the most important thing in the life. We're just maybe this little humbling person, or as I say it, as a servant that's actually there to serve the Lord, to serve society, to serve other people. And that's beautiful. Because now I feel I'm not carrying this most massive weight on my shoulders. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not pure. It doesn't mean that things don't come up and issues don't come up and things I need to learn. I've got so much to learn, so much. But the Lord's given me this little bit of intelligence to understand a little bit what's going on there. And this is why I wanted to share it with you. Because it's so beautiful. It's so divine. And all it means is just chanting the Lord's name, reading about the Lord, doing kirtan, singing, dancing, maybe doing some seva in the kitchens or in the gardens. It's all very, very simple. In fact, Srila Prabhupada, our founder, says, it's so simple you can miss it. So don't think you have to go into the forest, go and live in some remote place to find yourself. No. The Lord is everything and everywhere, but the most important thing to remember is this: as much as I can do my chanting, it's also about having the right type of association, taking the right guidance from our Shiksha and Diksha gurus. It's very, very, very important, because otherwise you'll do what I did before in Krishna consciousness, started to create my own philosophy, and all of a sudden we get a little bit lost. A little bit of guidance. It's not like moment by moment, day to day instruction. It's just some guidance from the Lord's representatives just to put us on the right track. And sometimes we take detours, but He pulls us back in. And it's very, very, very beautiful. So tell me, have you thought about going off into the wilds, going up into the forest, going up into the mountains because you need to achieve something? It's not all about that. Actually, it's about being in the right association with people, learning how to serve others. Because if we go out in the forest, we're just going to serve ourselves and only ourselves and our own needs. But actually, do you know what? It's just good to be kind, to be caring, to be loving, to be giving to others, and to become more forgiving, to have more acceptance, to have more tolerance. And slowly but surely, this false ego that Maya rewires and rewires into our brain starts to release. And it's beautiful. It's so beautiful. So much so that I want to share it with you. And everyone, you, me, and everyone else, has this opportunity to realise actually maybe there's more to our purpose in life. Maybe there's more to discover. And there's more importantly, it ain't all about just me anymore. And you know what? It's a relief. So, let me know what you think. Let me know whether you tried the forest, the mountains, the wilderness. Tell me otherwise. Be interested to hear what you have to say. Be good to share. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.